Can You Not? A Miraculous Ladybug fanfiction written and narrated by Mira Rose. Artwork by the Queen of Rare Pairs, Chlogami, on Instagram. You can find a link to her social media in the description box below. Once again, go give her all the like, love, support, because not only does she make good art and super funny comics, but she blesses us with things that people are just too scared to draw when it comes to ships and interactions. Now then, this one-shot, Can You Not, takes place after the episode Miraculous, but before the Season 3 finale. So just as a time range, that's where we're at. After Miraculous, but before Oblivio. So, if you haven't already, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to this channel for more Miraculous Ladybug content. And if you want to go an extra mile, don't forget to leave a comment in the comment section. If you don't know what to comment, put, Can You Not? Now then, please enjoy this Miraculous Ladybug fanfiction. Oh my bee, Felix! Leave it alone! Chloe Bourgeois found herself yelling at her least favorite childhood friend, who simply could not stop laughing at her awaiting Ladybug's call. There was an Akuma fight, and Felix literally bet that Ladybug didn't want her. Ugh. Rude. If he wasn't Adrian's cousin, she would have decked him. Well, she would have decked him loads of times if he wasn't a blood relative of Adrian's, but she also wouldn't know him then, so the point was moot. I'm just saying, Felix said, trying to regain composure from his explosion of laughter. You don't need a light in the sky for her to come get you. Literally all of Paris knows who you are. Besides, she said she'd never use you again, so why get your hopes up? Chloe balled her fists at the remark, each word cutting the still tender parts of her heart and ego. Felix, just... Ugh! What? Can you just... Her anger was both irrational and just. Can you just not? A smirk escaped his face before he pulled a mask on, looking sullen for a fact. I'm sorry, Chloe. Did I hurt your feelings? Stop it! With the truth. She turned away before she could watch him flash a wicked grin. Ugh, she hated him. She hated him even more than she hated Dupeng Chang. Ugh. If only Ladybug could swing by and lift her spirits. Even though she'd been cruel to her, not bothering to tell her she couldn't be a Miraculous holder in private, Ladybug was still her favorite woman. What's going on? A little cat fight? Chloe never thought she'd be grateful to see Cat Noir. You! She exclaimed. Hey, here. He tossed her the Miraculous that had become part of her identity. Let's go. See? Chloe said, spinning on her heels to stick a finger in Felix's face. Ladybug wouldn't give me the Miraculous anymore, but she never said Cat Noir couldn't. That's a stretch and you know it, Felix said, crossing his arms. You just got lucky. Chloe could feel her blood boiling, but she decided to cut off the gas. It was time to help Ladybug. If she did this right, then she could get in Ladybug's good graces, and then she'd let her be a part of the team again. This was an opportunity she couldn't afford to mess up, especially because of a guy like Felix. She took off, ready to address the Akuma victim. She'd actually seen the corrupted butterfly enter the assist knots watch when her boss threw a folder at her, and knew Ladybug still hadn't figured it out. See? She could be useful. She could be a great asset to the team if only she would trust her. At least the goofy cat gave her a chance. Hey, Bugaboo, Queen Bee said, taking her place by her side. Bugaboo? Ladybug turned to her in confusion. Chloe? What are you doing here? Oh. It looks like she'd messed up twice. One for using the nickname only super close teammates called her, or so she thought, and the second for assuming she'd actually want her in this fight. Feeling like a fool, Queen Bee kept a smile plastered on, despite the need to scowl at Cat Noir for... She couldn't figure it out. Did he actually think she could help, or did he want to make a fool out of her in front of Ladybug? Was she just a gesture to dance in front of him? Foul, cursed cat, acting all big because he gets to see Ladybug every day. Where do you want me, Ladybug? The Akuma's in the smartwatch. I know it is. It's just... She sighed and knit her eyebrows together. You shouldn't be here. Go, I don't know, keep the civilians safe or something. Queen Bee felt her heart droop low enough to catch an Akuma. Fine, she said, pretending not to be upset. I'll guard the building she works in. She's looking for her boss, after all. Yeah, your family's hotel. Ladybug's sentence was like a slap to the face. If it was anyone else but her, Chloe wouldn't have questioned what it was supposed to mean to their face, but she couldn't. She couldn't stir up trouble in front of Ladybug. She had to be on her best behavior and follow every instruction to the period. This might be her last chance to prove she could trust her, so she'd regret it if it went sideways. Bottling up her spoiled emotions, Queen Bee retreated to the very same roof she'd just left with what little grace she could muster, only to see a ream of paper, the victim's choice of weapon, flying towards Felix. Great. Queen Bee timed her landing to tackle him out of the way, pinning the boy underneath her as a ream took out a patio chair. Get off, Felix grunted, clearly irritated at needing to be saved. You're welcome, she quipped, holding the position as she did a head check for any other incoming projectiles. Get off. I'm amazed at your formalities. You're only here because Ladybug didn't want you, right? Felix! She barked, not knowing how else to respond. You! What? Did you come back just to save little old me? He wasn't grinning. Felix's words shot to kill when he's mad, so Chloe knew she needed to save her ego or he'd rip her open. Can you not? Queen Bee said, pushing herself off him and standing up. Likewise. Before she could get another word in, a wave of light washed over them. Looks like Team Miraculous is just fine without you, he sneered, the wicked grin growing back on his face like a fungus. Felix! She felt hot tears sting at the truth in his dig. Stop it! Stop it! His grin froze into that of surprise. This wasn't the usual rise he got out of her, after all. Just leave me alone, she cried, glaring at him as she detransformed. She wanted to throw the Miraculous away, but knew she had to wait for Cat Noir to come collect it. Thankfully, instead of staring at her, he walked away, giving her and her bubbling tears privacy on the rooftop, waiting for a team member that never was to stop by. Wiping the hot water off her cheeks as quickly as she could, Chloe looked around for the black cat. Hey, Cat Noir said, landing a few meters in front of her. Here, she said, unable to keep the edge out of her voice as she threw the Miraculous at him. Cat hesitated a moment before opening his mouth again, palming what was once her, or perhaps never hers to have, Miraculous. If it's any consolation, Kat began. I'm sorry, Chloe. Get out! The words were bitter on her tongue, and she turned her back on him. Ladybug didn't want her? Fine. She'd see. One day she'd need her. She would. That was her miraculous, and she would do anything to prove it. Retreating back to her room, all Chloe wanted was to flop on her couch and watch a dumb rom-com so she could cry, but instead she found a bug leeching on her fabric. Felix! She barked. Hey. His tone was softer than she was used to hearing it. I ordered Starbucks and sushi. She blinked a few times. What? What's your angle? She asked, narrowing her eyes. I did not put on a cheesy Netflix Christmas film on for you just to have that attitude. She kept her eyes slitted, still suspicious. It wouldn't be the first time he pulled the rug out from under her. Fine. Time passed and the food arrived, but Chloe couldn't help being a little sus at Felix's actions. What? He asked, noticing her gazing upon him. Why? Why what? He sighed, inhaling sharply as though he were tired of the conversation already. Why this? Don't make it weird. It was weird the moment you ordered Starbucks. Duh. You needed something to wash down that salty attitude from dealing with Ladybug. A salty attitude? Chloe cut herself off, feeling heat rising to her cheeks. Imagine if someone tried to cut you out of a team and told everyone but you, and when you finally do find out, they don't have the decency to admit it to you in person. Just drink your tea, sis. He rubbed his forehead wearily. Can you, not? She still did as she was told. Ridiculous, Chloe muttered. I know. Absolutely ridiculous, Felix echoed, staring at the screen with his arms crossed as the romantic leads struggled with putting up Christmas lights. As much as he bugged her, there was comfort in his presence. She still hated the guy almost as much as she hated Dupang Chang, but she hated being alone even more. Shut up and watch the movie, she retorted, sinking further between the couch cushions. Pushing the thoughts of the day out of her head, Chloe's world became that of two girls putting up Christmas lights together as sparks flew between them. Yeah, this was good for now. She'd focus on how these two women ended up together with the magic of Christmas. Yeah, it would be all right. Chloe would focus on this and not on Ladybug's betrayal of her idolization. For sure. This was all right. She was all right. She could help LB even if she didn't have a miraculous. This was fine. This was totally fine. This was the most fine of a situation that Chloe had ever been in. Totally. Thank you so much for listening. If you enjoyed this fanfiction, don't forget to subscribe to this channel for more Miraculous Ladybug fanfictions and also just Miraculous Ladybug content. Now then, if you'd like to further support the channel and me, hi, I'm Mira, I wrote this, you can do so by boosting up the YouTube algorithm with a like and a comment. If you don't know what to comment, put, "This was totally fine." I will catch you in the next one. Bye!